Let's have a look at the first section. Have a look at the screen with me. Do you notice here, the first bit, if there is any encouragement, number 1, any comfort, number 2, any participation, number 3, any affection, number 4. 4 things there. If you've got any of these things, and then each of them have a little add-on, right? If you've got any encouragement in Christ, any comfort from love, any participation in the Spirit, any affection and sympathy. Paul's beautifully written this to say, if there is any of this in Christ, what? If there's any encouragement, comfort, participation, affection, then can you see how the if is waiting, and gets resolved in the then. Then complete my joy. That word complete, you need to hear like a teacher telling the students what to do. That word complete, you need to hear like an army commander talking to his soldiers on what to do. It's not just a verb, it's an imperative. It's a command. He says, if you've received anything good from the gospel, then my cup, fill it up with joy. Well, how do we do that, Paul? By doing what? What would cause that cup to be filled? So we've got the if, then, by doing these things. By 1, being of the same mind. 2, by having the same love. 3, by being in full accord. 4, being of one mind. And do you notice here the connection? Any encouragement, same mind. We're going to see in verse 5, Christ and mind get sandwiched together. They're meant to be thinking of these two together in verse 5. We can see that's come from this section here because same love is connected to love, right? Any participation, that's talking about unity, fellowship, working together, that's of full accord. And then affection is connecting to this word here, one mind. The affections that he's talking about there are the affections that come more from the will than from the heart. It's affections that we desire to love our spouse even when they're a pain in the neck. And so we do love our spouse. We've chosen to love them. We've said our vows in sickness and in health, in good times and in bad, I will love them. And that's the kind of affection he's talking about here. Do you see? It's beautifully written, isn't it? The way it connects. And then have a look at the next bit here. So we've got the if, then, by running down like this, right? By being of the same mind. Now that phrase there, same mind, that is a verb there. And the do nothing from and in humility, they're participles. The way that verbs and participles interact with one another, verbs are brides, participles are bridesmaids. Bridesmaids do what the verb tells them to do. Right? Bridesmaids do what the bride tells them to do. I need this, go get that. Can I have a fan? I'm sweating, right? The bridesmaids do what the bride tells them to do. So being of same mind, that's the main verb. Then from that, see, so you're doing from here, goes through, do nothing from selfish ambition. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. And you can see he starts to go down here like this. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others. So having gone through the text there more verse by verse, we can see the pattern here that Paul's doing here is if you've gained anything from the gospel, if there's anything good that you've grabbed a hold of because of the gospel, then what should you do? You should complete Paul's joy by being united in humility.